This is a full match as the Ancient Seeds Decap Druid. And the role of my build is actually a duelist that can do a little bit of support for its allies through CC and healing, but it's mostly to counter a more tanky oriented 1v1er, say like the Prot Hollow, and instead of trying to actually kill them because they're so tanky, what you do is you just CC them off the node and you fully capture the node. So I'm going to go to far here and 1v1 this warrior, and they have balance stance, so it's kind of hard to knock them off the node here. So I'm just going to keep surviving through using my leap skill in the water field there, and I actually do get the knockback there and immobilize them with Ancient Seeds. And I'm just going to heal myself and put down my natural convergence, but I get blinded on the last tick. Now I see that their Scourge is coming in, so I have to be careful here. I'm going to knock the Scourge back if I can, but yeah, it doesn't work out. So I'm going to have to kite off. And me holding 2 players is probably good enough, but my team comes in and forces me into like a team fighting scenario. So I am pretty pressured and I have to get out. So I'm trying to, and I see that the Reaper's coming in, so I daze them and get 1 tick of the natural convergence while they're dazed, which will give them the Ancient Seeds. And then I just try to survive here because their entire team is coming in when I've got pretty low health and cooldowns, then I'll most likely die. So I go towards mid, see if I can get anything done there, but the Reaper chases me, so I give them the Ancient Seeds again and try to see if I can go back into the far node. But yeah, my team is wiping there, so I heal my Revenant so they can go back into mid, and then I'm probably going to go back into far once I do a little bit more annoying of this Reaper. So yeah, they lich me, and as soon as I see that, it tells me that this is pretty good because I've wasted one of their big cooldowns, and now I'm just going around the backside of mid because I don't want to run through their entire team, because first of all, I'm kind of low on cooldowns, and second of all, because I don't want them to see that I'm coming. But obviously the warrior knows. I still get the Ancient Seeds proc on them, and they cleanse it, so I try to use my Entangle, but they get out of that as well. So I'm going to have to use my knockback again here, and I actually get it and knock them off the node, but they have stability from the balance stance now, so I have to play around their balance stance and then go for the knockback. So I would normally go into the Greatsword here to survive and fight back, but I really want to get the decap as soon as possible, so I stay in it. I get the immobilize here from the Ancient Seeds, and then I knock them off, and that gives me the full decap. So at this point, I can start fighting them a little bit more aggressively, because they're not getting as much value off of the node as they were when they had the full cap. So here, the team fight sort of spills out into this node. The enemy duelist is actually not going for the kill here. So I have a decision that I have to make where I want to contest the node, but I also don't want my team to lose these fights, or I'll die, right? They'll kill me next. So I'm trying to revive my ally here, but the Reaper comes in, and I know that I absolutely have no way of surviving through that. The Reaper stays on me, but I knock them back and give them the Ancient Seeds, and I get Spinal Shivered there. So I'm trying to survive as hard as I can right now. My team is grouped up and they get a kill here. I give myself 1 pulse of the stability, and then I get some Ancient Seeds here maybe. The Reaper is right on top of me, and they're probably not in Shroud for a while now, so I use my leap there to get some healing finishers, which is actually really important because I'm really close to dying here. I'm going to be able to kite around this corner, resustain with my Astral Force healing, and probably go back into far now that the enemy team is rotating into mid. And as you can see, my team is actually winning mid now because they regrouped at mid, and I've stalled and split their team up. And I landed a really good Ancient Seeds on the Minion Master Necro there. But it's going to be difficult to handle this because a Minion Master kind of just pumps out so much damage, and I can't really decap them as easily because they have so many blinds, the minions run in the way. And I also am getting +1 here by the warriors, so I have to get off the node immediately, and I'm just gonna pretty much pressure them from afar. My pet is gonna die, so I'm trying to get my pet to come back to me and heal it, but it actually dies, so that's unfortunate. But you don't really need your pet too much on this build, so I'm trying to pressure this. I get the daze, and the Ancient Seeds actually procs on one of the minions, so that's unfortunate. So here I see that, yeah, the warrior is still here trying to pressure me, and I'm trying to just keep as much presence as possible so that the enemy doesn't leave here. I'm pressuring the necro so that the warrior basically has to stay, and if they stay, then I'm holding 2, and that gives me value even if I don't own the node. So this is pretty good, and my team can start winning mid off of that. But I am really low. I use my blast there and the heal combo, but I actually run out of the seed there, and that means that I don't get a lot of condition cleanse that I would have gotten from landing my seed, and that means I'm actually gonna die here. I get autoed by the flesh golem actually, so that is unfortunate. But I did play a little bit too aggressively there. I didn't need to actually go into the node there because they were gonna stay here to try to kill me anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna respawn, and we're gonna see what the minion master is doing there. He's going towards our home node, I think. So I'm gonna go to home, and it looks like, yeah, actually home's already getting decapped. So I'm gonna check that out, and it turns out that it is a scourge. So I want to pretty much decap and full cap this node against a scourge, but it looks like it's a Condi scourge actually. They're using curses, was that? And yeah, curses is a lot of conditions, so I want to be careful with that. I do have a long immobilize on them over here, so this is actually pretty good for me to cap the node while they're immobilized. I cleanse myself, I put down the seeds, and I'm going to give them slow. I land my natural convergence, but yeah, they're pretty high damage build here with the Curse's Scourge, so it's going to be difficult. I don't land my attacks before getting hit with a lot of damage here, so I take quite a bit of damage, so I'm gonna pretty much have to get off the node here. So yeah, this is pretty scary. I get decapped after getting the full cap, and I'm just going to try to resustain, but my teammates actually come in to help me, and this is pretty good because I can actually get the kill very easily with any of my teammates if I have like an immobilize, and the person that tries to help me get the kill, if they have a lot of damage, I have a lot of CC to kind of help them get it. But of course the Scourge disengages and goes into mid, so I'm going to cap the node, and then I'm going to go back into far and try to keep basically countering their duelist by preventing them from keeping their node. I also get a really good Ancient Seeds on their necro there before I leave, which is just preventing them from doing as much damage as possible. I'm trying to keep my team from dying here. So I go into far, and my team isn't doing amazing at mid. I probably could support them a little bit better, which, to be honest, this build can support pretty well. Like, as I said, it has pretty wide AoE CCs, it's got immobilizes, and it can also heal. So technically I could have stayed at mid there, but I feel like it'd probably be better if I just went to far, especially since I got the full cap, and they have just used their balance stance, the warrior, so this means that I can CC them, but my Revenant comes in and their Scourge is coming in, so we're going to be in a 2v3 it looks like right now. And there's not really much I can do for the Rev because I'm out of Astral Force. My pet is now dying because we're in an outnumbered situation, and I have to try really hard to survive here. I entangle them, and I'm just running around. I could swap pet here, but my pet died and go into the smoke scale. I use the gate there to stealth, which is pretty important because if they could keep chasing me without my stealth, then I'd probably die. So I just full reset here. And my team is actually pushing into home, but it's kind of late. So we're not gonna get too much value off of this. And I noticed that now they see that they've got all the kills, so they're gonna push into mid. So what I want to do is prevent them from taking mid, which will allow my team to get back into mid after they respawn, right? So I try to prevent this, but I actually get knocked back because I'm getting so pressured and I don't have any cooldowns. So they actually do get the decap on mid. So because of that, I pretty much give up on mid and I'm going to go back into far. So at far, yeah, we can just decap them. It looks like our necromancer's coming in here with his scourge. So there's not really much we can do with that because they don't really have that much damage. But we are looking at like a 2v2 here potentially. So actually what I just did there is I went into astral form and I used the daze, and then I auto attacked them with the longbow there, and that allowed me to get ancient seeds to proc on them, and that allowed us to get the full cap, which is pretty important here because now we're fighting on this node in a 2v2 while we're getting value out of the node rather than on a nuded node. So that was pretty big play there. I keep healing my ally here with astral force and cleansing with those seeds, and they get the scourge down. I think, yeah, they're gonna banner, but they have stability, so I can't do anything to stop it with my hilt dash. And now this is 3 players against us. I'm gonna try to hold the node here by standing behind the minecart, but yeah, my necromancer's gonna die no matter what. And looks like my rev is coming in, but we're gonna go for the res here, which is pretty risky. Yeah, they go into lich form, so I absolutely cannot get that res. So I kite off, and we actually get it down. So I'm going to try to cleave it, but yeah, it's very dangerous. I'm going to try to stomp this here. But yeah, my ally dies and they rally, so I have to get out. But they go down again, so I'm going to try maybe to... No, they actually... So we're going to lose that fight, but because the match ended, it didn't really matter. But yeah. Anyways, that is how you play the Decap Druid. You want to be stalling, CCing, and supporting.